Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you here a nice pink Dell Mini 10 client of mine. Also making my own first appearance in the video here on the left. In my vest, should have thought about that. Right, here's the screen. You can see it's cracked as hell. It's just standard LCD screen. So I've gone ahead and purchased another one off eBay. Cost me about $29.99. I've got a guide up for this, so I'm trying to work out as I go along, but it's pretty simple by the looks of things. Struggling to get the battery out, good start. I think it's been a bit broken. Right, so remove the battery, just make sure there's no power going into it. And then right, to begin with, you're going to need a positive head screwdriver, but first of all there's two black squares on the bottom left and bottom right hand side of your screen which you need to prop out. So I'm just using like a flat screwdriver to prise these out. You might be able to get them out your nails, you might have a better tool which is like plastic, and just organise them on the table so I know where they are. Now I need to get that posi head screwdriver out and unscrew them. Obviously you're screwing anti-clockwise to make sure that they unscrew. When I can get the little ones out, this netbook can be quite fiddly, but from what I can tell this one's going to be relatively easy. Right, so once they're out, that is, I think, all you need. So you just need to prise the plastic off. I'm using a screwdriver here. I mean, because I've done this quite a few times. If you're new, you want to make sure you don't do it on the corners of the screen. You want to do it on the sides, because they're less likely to snap. If you do it in the corners, it's very, very possible that it will just completely snap. Sometimes you do have to give it a bit of a tug, as you can see, to get it prized off. But once you've got it going, you can sort of just slide your screwdriver along sideways around the screen until you sort of prise the whole thing off. Best to be gentle with it rather than sort of rush it, because as I said, especially on these smaller screens, the corners where the joins are can really break quite easily. So you can see I'm struggling with that a bit there. I'm going to apologise in advance because at the end of this video my camera ran out of space, so you miss it actually turning on. You can see the mouse, I think, cursor appear, and then that's it. So I apologise in advance for that. I couldn't be bothered to take it apart and put it back together again. You can see I prized that off, so just put that to one side. Now the only bit that the back's sort of suctioned on there a little bit, but there is a hinge at the bottom. Where it's still attached. I'm just going to unscrew those. That's on the bottom left and the bottom right, but it's going to be the top screw. We would have already undone the bottom screw, as that was the one that held the actual front bezel on. These four are holding the back bezel on, not bezel, the back cover as such. The four facing forward. I think these screws are slightly different sizes to make sure you keep them apart. That doesn't really matter which ones go in which holes. You can see from the screen here that my client's got, there's a bit of tape on the right corner, which is where the covers obviously come off it, so this one's obviously smashed before. It's come from eBay. So just check the laptop, make sure there's no connections. In the case of Dell Inspiron Mini, there isn't. So you can literally just pop the back off. You don't want to do it too far because there is cables attached for the Wi-Fi, the webcam, go around the screen, and also you've got the one into the back of the screen as well. So there is just one clip. You literally just have to peel it up, so it unsticks. It's very, very easy. It's just like plugging something into the back of your TV. A 3-year-old could do it. It can be pretty sticky sometimes though. And once that's off, you can now go ahead and remove the screen. You might want to just check your connection here. You get two different types. You get your LCD and your LED. The one we've got here is LCD, which I believe doesn't need like an additional power supply, as you will find with LED screens. They'll have two connectors, one for sort of the video and the other for the backlight. And obviously, if you buy the wrong one, your laptop won't support it. It won't go in, which is why you can't just swap out your LED screen for your LCD, or likewise for your LCD for your LED screen. That's why you can't do it. So at this stage, there's 4 screws that sort of hold the screen in, 2 on each side, one on the top, one on the bottom on each side. I'm just going to unscrew all of those, again keeping those screws apart for the rest of them because you don't want to get muddled up. Again, just posi head screwdriver, I nearly dropped one. So it's out, so I can get the new screen out now. I tend to leave the plastic covering on for now anyway, but you just need to unpeel it so you can actually peel that plastic off after, just a little bit. I just tend you can take it off if you like. It's just a habit of mine, so I don't sort of scratch the screen whilst I'm working on it. So you need to get your first screw in. It's the most difficult one. We're literally just going to screw it back in now. You'll probably see me struggle at this stage. If you're getting bored, you can take time to admire my super expensive light-up Alienware keyboard, which I regret buying. Cost me a lot of money, but it does look nice. If I get bored with it, I can change the colour. So go buy one of those. That's good. Okay. We're definitely a lot better with the screws now. Used to struggle getting them in. Just make sure they're sort of tight, and then obviously make sure the bottom line's up at both ends before you go ahead and screw one in. Because you don't want to sort of start bending the axles, because they can be a real pain. Sorry, not the axles, the hinges to replace. Right, they're nearly there. You can see from the length of the video, this is really not a long process. So if you are thinking to do it, you know, there's really not very much you can go wrong with. Okay, so once it's screwed in, we're going to need to add the connector. Fortunately, the camera's a bit out of focus here, but you literally just sort of, if you push it flat against the screen, and then you can slide it up in, and once it's securely in place, you sort of push the tape down to hold it in place. At this stage, I'd always advise testing it. So I'm just going to whack the battery back in. Make sure we get something on the screen. If we get something on the screen, we've done a good job. We can start to begin to screw it back together. It's got a low battery. Alright, so bar screen is looking good. The whole thing's lit up. This did actually have a faulty pixel, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. We'll roll with it. That was me touching the screen because it had a pixel dead. You probably should take the battery back out at this stage. Though I'm not particularly fussed, but that would be my professional advice to do so, just in case. So when you're at the stage, you need to start screwing it back into the screen, back into the back plate. There's 4 screws, one on each corner. The ones at the bottom you need to screw in the top hole, because there's 2 holes. The bottom hole for each corner is the one you use to screw the bezel, the front bezel, back onto the actual laptop itself. So nearly done there. Just putting it back together now. Simple stuff. So one more thing to go. One thing also to be careful here is on the Inspiron Mini, the webcam is actually quite secure up there. Same with the cables, but you can find that sometimes the cable's gone a bit loose, and they sort of fall out of place and it stops it from being clipped in. Actually, now I think about it, I think I had a bit of a problem getting one in because one of the cables has sort of come loose and it was stopping me from reaching the clip. There we go, right in that corner. If we have a look behind it, one of the cables is sort of covering one of the clips. Okay, and you'll hear it sort of click in. Work your way around the edge of the screen, get it all clipped in. Simple stuff. And you should, yeah, just rub your thumbs around it. You can't really go wrong there. Pop the screws back in. Obviously when you're screwing stuff back in, you need to go clockwise. When you're unscrewing stuff, you go anti-clockwise. Simple stuff, but sometimes people forget. End up over-tightening things or messing up the threads of the screws. Last but not least, you just pop those black squares back in, which could be an absolute nightmare if they get stuck to your desk. Okay, right, so they're in, and there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry the quality is a bit poor. It's my first attempt of doing like a home video rather than sort of a screen recording with a voiceover. And you can see here it boots. As I said previously, I think the video gets cut off before you actually see the full window, but I can assure you it did work 100% there. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, check out my other videos, or subscribe if you like it. And hope yours goes okay, and thanks for watching.